Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are in the world. My name is Robert Antoinette, along with the lovely
Constance Carter.
And we believe that for every situation,
there is a conversation.
Hashtag Conversation Starters Live, the #1 entertainment platform in the world. We know that you can be anywhere else in the world, but we are so happy that you decided to hang out with us. It is Friday and it is almost 5 o'clock somewhere. What is going on, Constance?
I'm just excited about everything that's getting ready to happen within the next hour. We have a few special guests. We got some surprises coming up. They have no idea what they're in for.
They have no idea. So I'll tell y'all what, for all of our viewing audience, make sure that you tell a friend, make sure that you share this broadcast out, because this is going to be absolute fire. Conversation Starters Live is always doing it BIG. So let's get right into it, Constance. There's a lot of things happening in the world.
What's happening in the world, Rob?
Well, I know for sure my mama is from Georgia. She's from Forsyth, Georgia. That's middle Georgia. But I'm taking exception to the governor of Georgia, who has a show enough beef going on with my boo, Keisha Bottoms, the mayor of Atlanta. Can you believe it? Because she is trying to protect the citizens of Atlanta and mandating that they wear their masks.
He sounds like a fool. So he is suing the mayor because she's trying to protect the citizens.
In addition to the suing of the mayor, he's trying to put a gag order on her so that she can make no more declarations that are more extensive than his already stated public health mandate that's out, that's very, very loose and not protecting the citizens in the state of Georgia, but in particular in Atlanta. Mayor Keisha Bottoms, shout out to you for trying to make sure that your citizenship is protected.
Yeah, that's crazy. It sounds like he's echoing somebody else. And we all know that clown don't know what the hell is going on. So, when you have a person at the top that's foolish, then you tend to have other people who follow them that take up that same mantle. And it's unfortunate because people's lives are affected. There are people that are dying right now, Robert.
Yeah.
And, it's for no reason. All they have to do is be safe, put their masks on, stay home, do all the things that we're told to do by everybody else that has some good sense around here. You know what I'm saying?
Some good sense. Well, my mama said, if you ain't got nothing good to say about people, don't say nothing at all. So we're not even going to talk about 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue.
You banned me from speaking about that. You banned me from speaking about that. So I'm gonna keep it closed. Okay.
I didn't say any names, Constance, but what's going on in your world? I know there's some news that we can use on your end.
Yeah, I was just thinking about your boy. Oh, look at that baby. He just had a little meltdown, Rob. What happened? Robert?
That picture says it all. This is too much. He was running for president, and I'm not sure what happened along the way, but one of the things that I will say about him being a lyrical genius, I have bumped some of Kanye's music in the club. I've listened to him on the radio, but this is one of those things where I'd say stick to your J job, because public office may not be your jam.
Might not be for you. Yeah, it's really sad because really he was in a manic state. He's really in a manic state because he's bipolar. And Kim Kardashian came out and said, listen, I really don't try to talk about my husband in public, but he's been going through a lot of things. He still hasn't recovered from his mom dying way back in 2007. Yeah. So it's really unfortunate. A lot of people are making fun of him, but this is really mental health issues that we just really need to pray. So as you are praying your long prayers, Robert, make sure you put Kanye on the list.
You know what? Fix it, Jesus.
I just
all the saints out there, y'all know I can be a little bit long-winded on my prayers. It's because at Thanksgiving dinner, my uncle and them used to stay on the prayer, line to Jesus for a long, long time, and it just kind of stuck with me. That's all I can say about that. But listen, as we keep the party rolling along, I have a question of the day.
What's that?
In line with a lot of things that's happening, you know, we all know that relationships, Dr. George C. Fraser says that relationships are the new currency today, right? For those who don't have relationships, you don't have a livelihood and you don't have a business. Not a business, but what?
A business.
That's yes. Right. So what I wanted to ask the people, and I want to get your engagement as you're listening to Conversation Starters Live. If you are in a relationship and you are having problems, should you or should you not seek outside help? I know Steve Harvey has written several books. I know a lot of you folks like to go to your pastor. I know some of y'all go to your good girlfriend. And for the fellas, we usually go to our homeboys. But is it or is it not cool to get outside help in your relationship when it has gone awry?
So when is it cool? When is it cool? Is it ever cool to get outside help from relationships? Is it ever cool to bring an outside a third party into the relationship? I'm going to say, you know, if you listen to the elders, they always say keep people out your business, keep outsiders out of your relationship.
Yeah.
As in human nature, it is, you know, within our nature to want to talk to our people, our friends, our girlfriends about things that are going on in our lives, emotional things like that. But you can't, if you're single, you can't advise a married person on married people issues if you single. You know what I mean? If you ain't got no man, why am I listening to my homegirl who ain't got no man? She can't get a man, but she's trying to tell me about me and my man. Like, what kind of logic does that make? If she can't keep her man, but she's trying to tell me what I need to do about mine. You know, and that's most of the time what ends up happening is they can't keep their man and they really secretly want you to be single. I tell my daughter that all the time, like, girl, let's just be single together. But, you know, but anyway, she's like,
yeah,
no.
You seem really, really passionate about that topic. So I'm not even going to touch it. And for the fellas out there, you know, we'll just keep our business to ourselves and thug that thing out and just suffer in silence. That's all I will say about that.
Look at Brandy said married couples should go to each other and God.
God.
And God. And I'm going to say it again. Why are you listening to somebody who's single trying to tell you about being married? She just wants you to be single like her.
Say that. Well, listen, we definitely want to hear what you're saying out there in the Conversation Starters Live audience. Should you or should you not seek outside counsel when your relationship is having problems? That's what we need to know.
You see what Brandy
saying out there?
You didn't see what Brandy said? She said, right. A single person can't tell me ish about keeping my business together, my marriage business together. No outside for us. It ain't they business. Robert, you can't see the comments on here, Rob?
I can. I'm blinded by the lights, and I won't tell y'all about that. But anyway, Brandy Cox, we love you, and we want to hear from everybody else out there in the Conversation Starters Live feed. How do you feel about this?
What do you guys think about that? I mean, what do you think about it, Rob? You said no?
For me, you know, I'm a very private person, so I try to stay out of other grown folks' business as much as possible, unless you ask me. But here's one thing I will tell my friends. Now, if you don't want to know the truth, don't ask me. Up to and including me telling you that might not be the one. This is not the situation for you, male or female. Otherwise, I keep my mouth closed and I keep my eyes going in any other direction but your way.
So do you tell your friends, hey, homie, maybe she's just not that into you?
See, you know about a specific situation that you asked.
No, I'm just asking. I'm not saying anything. I'm just asking, do you tell people, are you honest enough to tell your friend that maybe she's just not that into you?
You know what, Constance? Yes, I will be upfront and personal and explain that I think that you should make another choice in your relationships. And that's all I'm going to say about that. Listen, I have something even better to talk about than my friend who is struggling right now in his relationship with somebody he does not need to be with, but that's his business. I want to talk about what we call platinum peeps.
Uh-oh.
And for those of you out there who want to know what platinum peeps are, you know, in the record industry, there is gold, and then there is platinum. So there are people in our lives that we see in our everyday walk, and we want to shout them out, celebrate them. And we want to give them the just due that they deserve, because as great as they are, somebody somewhere doesn't know about the brilliance that is contained inside of them. So today we want to do something a little different.
What we gonna do, Robert?
Get ready, because we're getting ready to bring these platinum peeps to life. You know, I'm getting tongue-tied on my P's. Platinum peeps. I'm gonna try to
Peter Piper picked a pick of peppers with Peter Piper. Is that what you're doing?
Yeah, I think that's what I'm trying to do. But without any further ado, Constance, I know you got a platinum person that has shown up a bad cat. So
let's see.
Introduce him.
All right, hold on. Let's see. What? Platinum peeps? Let's go ahead and bring on our boy, Mauricio Mejia.
Wow, thank you very much. That is amazing. Constance and Robert, thank you very much for bringing me on board today. Just want to say thank you and thank everyone for the great opportunities, and just again, wonderful to be following and to be being a part of this. Thank you again. I know you mentioned I could talk about my books. I've written a book, Smoke and Mirrors. I got a second book that just got published called Decide, Commit, Execute. And we're about to launch one of the largest Latin media companies in the U.S. With right now over 5 million users across the active users, over 300,000 active social media followers, which is increasing daily, and over 7,000 influencers across the world. So it's a great opportunity to be here. I'm looking forward to hearing everyone else speak today. I'm here. I love to learn, so I like to listen more than to talk, even though I appreciate the time given. I just want to say thank you, Constance, for the opportunity. And Robert, thank you again. And I don't want to hold back. I'm just very excited to just be watching and listening today to everyone that's going to be on your show. So thank you again and good luck. And I'm here to support you guys 100% on whatever I can do.
Woo-hoo! I love it.
Yeah. Hey, listen, Constance,
that was my platinum peep from my hometown of San Jose, California. What?
You know what? I love the state of California. And the next time you introduce Mauricio, you guys say Mauricio.
He will be the first Latino billionaire. Yes, sir. Mm-hmm.
That's facts. That's facts. Well, listen, you know what? That's a hard platinum person to top. But I want to introduce to the people out there listening in Conversation Starters Live, my super friend, who hails all the way from the great state of Maryland, National Harbor. It's one of the epic destinations in the entire world.
I don't know about that, but okay.
His mama named him Trevor Otts, but I know him as the $1 billion brand man. So bring on my platinum person, my platinum peeps. Trevor Otts.
All right.
All right. Mic check. So today's platinum peeps tip, right, is for all of my entrepreneurs out there. And here's the thing that I want you to write down. Digital marketing is the new literacy. A person who does not have the skill sets of a digital marketer in 2020 is the same as being illiterate. I don't care if you're trying to get a job in the career space, you got to get on LinkedIn. I don't care if you're trying to get the NFL team or the NBA team or college scholarship, you're putting your videos on YouTube. That's digital marketing. And the quarantine was an extinction level event. Why? Because it basically turned most of today's preachers, pastors, coaches, authors, gurus, experts, and whatever they call themselves, it turned them into dinosaurs overnight. Make sure you're not that dinosaur. Make sure you're not the next Blockbusters. Make sure you're not the next BlackBerry. Make sure that you're doing everything you can to develop the skills of a digital marketer so that you can properly position yourself in the marketplace. So here's your final tip for the day. There's a difference between being virtual and being automated. Virtual is just getting online. Automated is getting online in a way that does not involve your labor. And so when you get virtual and automated, you go evergreen. So the first tip of a digital marketer is be evergreen by not just being virtual, but being also what? Automatic. Because when you do both together, you become evergreen, because the number one problem facing today's small business entrepreneur is an addiction to your labor as the primary mechanism by which you generate revenue. So try to automate what you're doing in your business as much as humanly possible. My name is Trevor Otts, known as also #TheBlackCEO, and you can connect with me at blackceo.com. Back over to you, Robert.
That's my boy.
Wait a minute. That's my boy too. You call him Trevor. You call him the Black CEO. I call him the Godfather.
The Godfather. Well, listen, I am so proud to continue bringing you #excellence to all of my party people and Conversation Starters Live, because you know when you're dealing with this one over here, you're going to get the best. And I want to make sure that I hold my end of the bargain and continue to bring you some of the greatest people, some of the greatest faces, known and unknown, that we all call Platinum Peeps.
I love it. Thank you.
I love it as well.
All right, so I'm so excited. Are we ready to introduce the man of the hour? Because I think that's what people are here to see. Okay, so I don't know if you got this book. Not only do I have this book, but I have the Audible. And I don't know if a lot of you guys know that this brother is a businessman in his own right. He travels all over the world. He speaks, he coaches. He's a published author, New York Times bestseller. He talks about things that we resonate with. We were just talking yesterday. We were online and we were just talking about leadership and the importance of leadership. And this man's book is called Identity Leadership. And he is here to talk to us. We're not going to just talk about leadership. We're going to talk about some other things, but leadership, if you are entrepreneurs and you want to increase your business, you want to up level your business, you want to take your business from a 3-figure to the 4-figure to the 5-figure to the 6-figure to the 7-figure to the 8-figure, you got to know how to lead. And one of the things he says is he said, leading yourself first. This book is a roadmap for how to master that journey. It's very practical, but it's very engaging. And so whether you get the Audible or you actually have the hardback book, it's life-changing. So I want to introduce to some. I ain't introducing him to nobody. I'm going to present him because everybody knows who this man is.
Really?
Everybody knows who this man is. Everybody know who this man is.
My mama and them know him.
Yo, my mama was like, ooh, tell him he cute. He said that. I was like, Mama, I'm not telling you this man is cute. He's taken.
But listen, this is the one thing I want to make sure that we all say together, because you know what I'm getting ready to say. He is not a businessman. He is a
business man. Yes,
that's
let's
right.
bring on none other than Mr. Stedman. Graham, yeah.
Thank you so much, Constant and Robert and Mauricio and Trevor. It's a pleasure to be among all of you.
We're excited to have you.
I love the opportunity to be able to talk about identity leadership, which is self-leadership, based on the philosophy that you can't lead anybody else until you first lead yourself. And the unfortunate thing is that it's really kind of a setup in the world that we live in. We have 7 billion people in the world, and probably 1% of those people understand how to lead themselves. And when we talk about self-mastery and self-efficacy and self-empowerment, it's almost impossible to lead yourself because the system is only set up for you to be a follower. You know, the school system.
Wait. So we're right there. How is the system only set up for us to be followers?
Well, the school only teaches us how to memorize and take tests, repeat the information back, and label with a grade, and 2 weeks later we forget the information. And most of us, Constant, have a fixed mindset, which means we get up in the morning, we wash our face, we brush our teeth, we get something to eat, we get the kids out to school, work all day, come home in the afternoon, we spend time with the family, we watch TV, we go to bed, maybe we dream that's Monday. And we repeat that same cycle over and over. So if you did the same thing you did yesterday as you would do today, as you would do tomorrow, what have you done? Nothing. Everything you learn, you forget, which is nothing. Nothing from nothing is nothing. So how in the world can you lead self if you don't understand how to find out who you are and how to take information, education, and make it relevant to your talents, to your skills, to your passions? You're always working for everybody else, slaving and giving everything away.
Come on.
So there's nothing for you in the end.
Right.
So it's called work. Nothing wrong with work, but it's called work, giving everything away, slaving for somebody else, and not creating your own empowerment. And then you get labeled by the outside world who says we're going to define you because I'm going to control you anything because you're not doing anything anyway. So I'm going to control your mind And I'm going to define you by your race. I'm going to define you by your gender. I'm going to define you by your house, your car, your money. And so you're programmed to buy into the labels, and you buy into those labels all of your life, thinking that you are somebody just because you have a nice house or a nice car, but you still don't know who you are. So identity leadership.
Real quick, let me jump in, and I hate to do that. So what I need to let you know, Mr. Graham, is that Constance and I, we get really excited when you say something real good. So this is a mini church sermon, so we might have you back it up a couple times. It's not the disrespect what you're saying. It's because it's so good. We don't want anybody to glaze over it because you dropped the bombs already, right? So here's what I like to say to you, and then ask a question as well, is that you're not new to this whole leadership thing, right? There are a lot of giants out there like Les Brown and Tony Robbins, right? And other folks that people look to, but you've been doing this since 1997 with your first book. And you've been talking leadership and how to impact your own life and personal accountability from the very first time you stepped on the scene and you put pen to paper and wrote a book. In fact, one of the things I love about your book is that you had the 9 steps. Because a lot of people give you the infomercial. They tell you you can be great, you can do it, and you can do it, and you can do it, but they never tell you how, right? So you gave some principles on what simple principles to follow, and you gave a guide, right? Before GPS came out, how many of us know we had those maps, the ADC maps? We had to turn it around and take the pen. So you give a guide and a roadmap how to get from here to there, which is where we all should be. And like Constance said earlier in the broadcast, we forget about the leadership that needs to be a part of our lives, but more importantly, self-reliance and leading yourself first. So my question to you, and given that long run up, why are you so passionate about leadership? Because you certainly could have talked about a lot of things. You could have talked about television. You could have talked about where you are, your thoughts and views are on education, Black empowerment. There could have been so many things. So why is leadership so important to you?
Well, it's really leadership is very important, because without leadership, you have nothing. Because you're dealing with 99% of the people who are followers looking for leadership.
99%, huh?
Yeah, and they pretty much are stuck. So that's why they kill the leaders. That's why they get rid of the leadership, because you're confused. And most people, you'll never be able to transform into leadership because you're not focused on self-development. And self-development is the answer for freedom, along with economic development. So when you put self-development with economic development, and you understand the value of knowledge and information, we're not just talking about basic history and basic math and all of those skills that you're taught around those specific courses. We're talking about the information to empower yourself so you can get rid of low self-esteem, so you can get rid of lack of confidence, so you have the ability to understand the value.
Uh-oh. He's frozen.
We'll hold on for a second.
He's frozen. It was getting gooder and gooder and gooder.
Yeah.
The thing about leadership, we'll wait till he comes back on.
No, while we're waiting, Constance, I love leaders, love leaders, because there is a certain skill set that it takes to be a leader. See, anybody can be. It's like leadership is like parenting, right? Anybody can be a parent, but
we're so taught
should be a parent.
There he is.
Oh, there we go. We're back.
Yeah. So if you're looking for freedom, you'll never find it on the outside. Freedom is on the inside. But all we do is focus on the external world to define our value, and that's the wrong place to go. So all your accomplished people always focus on internal development as a way to organize their purpose, organize their vision, organize a plan, work on a process for continuous improvement, organize relationships around that. And they overcome obstacles because they're so passionate about their purpose, and they're so passionate about their talents and about their skills. And you can't take that away.
Yeah.
But you said something that was very poignant. You said they kill leaders. why do they kill leaders? You know, why? Is it because they can influence the masses? Is it because if you can silence a leader, you can silence millions? Is it because they can keep us divided by killing our leaders? Like, why do they kill leaders?
Constant, all of the above, because the leaders work so hard to try and understand consciousness and understand how to be aware of things and understand now how to navigate the 21st century and understand how to take applied knowledge and make it relevant to their development so they can give you the right information. And a lot of times they have the moral fortitude and again, the consciousness to be able, and the knowledge and the skills. They've taken so many years to work on themselves, to free themselves. And that's like a gift to be able to do that. Everybody else is waiting for you to tell me what to do.
Yeah.
That's so true.
That's why they're so important.
I love it.
I'm sorry. Just to piggyback off of what you said, and I'm gonna let you go, Robert. It is true. As a leader, I have taken so much training and gone through so many things to get me to where I am today. And to your point, you talk about in your book that leaders, they drive performance. Yeah, of course, that's what, that's the ultimate goal, right? In any business, we want to drive performance, but they cultivate collaboration. And I don't know if people really understand how important that is to really build your business. Collaboration is everything. You can't have a sustainable business if you don't have collaboration, if everybody's not on the same page, and I think that, seeing the potential in others, that was another point that you made, seeing the value in others. And it's so funny because I was talking to one of my agents the other day and I was telling them that I really believe in them. And then somebody came up to me afterwards. They were like, you said the same thing to me. And I said, because I really believe it in you too. And I really believe it in that person too. It's not like I'm telling them that, just trying to pump them up. I really do see the potential in you. And I wouldn't have you around if I didn't. So it's important that comes from a real pure place, from the core, that if you're really trying to increase your business, you have to really see the potential in others, and you have to build others and grow others if you want to build your business.
Well, business is a relationship business. It's a network. You don't get business just because you structure a business.
Right.
Or you organize a business. You get business because people give you business.
They have to follow you.
And they give you business because they like you and they care about you. And so if you're in a situation where you have no network and you have no friends and you don't cultivate relationships, you're not going to get much business. Because it is a collective consciousness of people working together for the same thing and the same vision that allows you to organize resources and opportunities, so that you can, have a network that supports your business.
Yeah. If you have no network,
business,
you have no net worth, right?
Yeah. Business is tough. It's a very difficult thing to be able to, run a business and to maintain the acumen to be able to sustain that over a long period of time, especially in these times where you're competing now in the social media platform where you have millions and millions and millions, if not billions, of competition in the marketplace today, competing with you worldwide and also on a global, platform.
Yeah.
Mr. Graham, I heard you talking about the importance of leadership, right? And it has driven you to write several books about it. And I know that you have to have been in the company of some heavy people. So in terms of coaches, Constance and I are always at workshops and conferences where they're telling you, you need a coach, you need a coach, you need a coach. So rather than to talk about coaches, is there a leader in your life or somebody that has helped to mentor you that may be known or unknown that, really has helped to set and guide and shape the principles that you talk about so often right now? Because I understand that self-improvement is the first step, but there has to be somebody in your world, whether it's in your family or in the public space, that has influenced you, or somebody that you look to as a coach figure.
I've been fortunate. At least I have at least 100.
100
people.
Coaches?
At least 100 people. Not even coaches. Not even coaches. I don't even really use that word too much. People that I have relationships with that have taken an interest in my life. And who have given me the information and knowledge to be able to self-actualize my own potential so I can define myself as opposed to having the world define me.
That's
but
right.
you need to be able to have folks that care about you. You
Mm.
know, so the first word is care, and it goes both ways. Of course, you know, I'm with one of the most powerful, influential, loving, and caring person in the world. I know that's kind of where you're going a little bit, you know, with Oprah, and who has impacted my life. She's done 25 years of shows, so I get to talk about that, and everything is about content. So if you don't have access to content in above education. Education is great, but education is average. You're supposed to have an education. We're talking about the information that allows you to create and customize your own process and program for continuous improvement so that you can achieve at the highest possible level based on who you are. We're talking about business acumen. We're talking about being able to navigate through obstacles. All of those things, all that information you get, that if you don't have good parents growing up, if you don't have a solid background, if you don't have people around you who can kind of help you navigate through all of it, you're just going to basically be a generalist. You're not going to be focusing on specific skills that will allow you to become an expert and an authority in your field.
Okay, let's talk about that really quick, Stedman, because it is really important. And a lot of people out there, they want to have that. Everybody doesn't have an Oprah, you know. Everybody doesn't have coaches like I've had, because I've had some great people in my life, great mentors and great coaches. What do you say to those people who are trying to, you know, they're trying to better themselves? They only know what they know. They only see what's in their peripheral vision. They don't see, they don't have access. How do they get access?
Well, first of all, you have to be open, number one, and you have to be likable. You know, people have to like you, and you have to be driven. So to be able to, I mean, there's no way I could be working at any of this level if I didn't have a purpose in my life. If I didn't have something that would keep me busy 24/7, if I didn't have something that I was passionate about, if I didn't have something that drove me every single day beyond the comments, beyond being defined and put into a box, beyond race, beyond all of that. So what I have to be able to do to even be competitive and to maintain my consistency, regardless of what the situation is, I have to be able to define my own existence. I have to be able to give up my life for myself. I have to be able to die for the principles that I talk about in that book. I got to be able to understand that, you know, if you got to take me out before I quit and before I give up.
You said you got to take, wait, say that one more time for the people.
You got to take me out with the military. You got to take me out.
I love it. I love it.
And I could care less about who you think I am, or how you define me, or what you think I am. It doesn't even matter, because I'm so passionate about my work and passionate about my purpose in life. And I'm very clear on my vision. And I'm very clear on the process of success and how to take the American free enterprise system and the global market, and now technology as a way to disseminate content to people all around the world. I understand that. I get that. So I'm not playing around with my time. I'm not playing around with you. And I could care less about the external world. It has nothing to do with my existence as a human being.
Brother, you are preaching right now. And if I had a collection plate, I would put a 20. Maybe I'm going to take my shoe off and throw it at this screen. How about that? Because he is. Yes, indeed. Yeah. Good word. So listen, I love listening to you, Mr. Graham. I wasn't expecting this. I have read your books. So I've always known you to be a quiet figure, but we never had the opportunity to sit down on the Conversation Starters couch. So if you're listening out there right now and you have a question for Mr. Graham, please post it in the feed right now. So I heard you talking real quick, Mr. Graham, about you got to take me out. You got to take me out. So I would ask you this question, and it may be left of center, but it's right in line with what you said. With your delivery, with your purpose, would you say you're more Martin or more Malcolm? Ooh. Martin as in Dr. Martin Luther King, and or Malcolm as in Malcolm X? Well, I'm Malcolm, I'm Kennedy, I'm Mandela, I'm Gandhi. Come on. I'm everybody. Every leader.
every leader who wants to, first of all, make a difference and be a servant to the people, number one, and be able to take information and knowledge and the content. I'm tired of dumbed down content being distributed to the public school system throughout the country that marginalizes people based on the color of their skin.
Wow.
So
this is systemic and suppressive in a lot of cases. And unless you create a customized program to get above that system of average, you're not going anywhere in the 21st century. That's the message. And I'm tired of folks who look like us taking our own people down and then selling out in the end because they want to make more money, you know, selling records and sending out bad content that's basically being programmed by somebody else and empowered by somebody else, and they're used as the person to be able to put messages of marginalization and destruction to our own young people.
Stedman, wow. I'm doing a TED Talk in September, and I'm going to be talking about that very thing about the education system. We're going to be talking about that very thing on my TED Talk. So I'm excited.
Education is the key.
Oh, we lost him.
Content is the key. So you got to control your own messages. You got to control your own messages. You got to control your own content. You got to control your own economics. You got to control your own opportunities. And you have to control your own self.
In this political climate, though, how do you control your own content? How do you control your own messages? How? Because you got to think about it. We're being fed so much propaganda. We're being fed so much garbage. We don't know what's right. You know, you look at it. You look at the news, right? If I go to CNN, everything is really, really left. If I go to MSNBC, everything's really left. If I go to Fox, everything is very right leaning, right? So there's nothing that's everything. There's an agenda with everything. How do you find your own content? How do you weed all of that stuff out and just find the truth? Because there's so much out there, Stedman. What do you do?
Well, first of all, you gotta organize your own information, and you can't do that unless you know who you are. You can't source information. You can't organize knowledge. You can't organize technology. You don't even know what to look for until you know what your purpose is in life, till you know your talent and skills. So you have to be very clear on how to organize the information that's relevant to your development. It's a very personal issue. And a lot of times you have to read about that. You don't always know about that. You know, so it's really a learning that allowed me to be able to self-actualize my own potential. When I understood the value of knowledge and information and how to organize that knowledge and make it relevant to my passion and to who I was as a person, I could begin to source everything and then build a process for learning over a long period of time. So let me go back to the center point of everything. The center point of creativity and development and building social economic development is based on one word.
What's that?
That's love.
Okay, that's easy.
Love is the answer for everything.
Love conquers.
Because love conquers everything. You can't possibly love anybody if you hate yourself.
Yeah.
You can't possibly love to learn if you hate yourself. You can't, if you're angry and mad and you're not at peace with yourself, you can't learn anything.
Right.
Yeah.
So your ability to be able to transform your energy, which is what I work on all the time. How do I move from a negative mindset to a positive mindset, right? And put myself in a position where I'm focused on building as opposed to tearing down. How do I do that? And I do that with understanding who I am based on what I love in my life, organizing everything I love, all my passions, and then taking information and applying that. Einstein said you cannot solve a problem with the same mindset that caused it. So I don't want to go back to my history. I'm not trying to go back to a family where, you know, I had a lot of trauma and a lot of pain because I grew up with 2 disabled brothers in my family, and I'm fighting every single day and being bullied and everything else, and growing up with that negative mindset, low self-esteem, and lack of confidence. I'm not trying to go back to that. What I'm trying to do is never let pain become the design for my life, and to be able to transform my mind by focusing on things that allow me to look at the glass half full as opposed to half empty. You
know, Mr. Graham, here's one thing that I will say to you. You steps on some toes, and you've been doing that for a while. But you said you don't want to go back in history. And for many of us, especially young Black males and around the world, especially in this country, people put a period on the end of the sentence when they talk about their childhood. Those are the first images that we see. That's how we formulate and interact with the world. And if those images are negative, if those stereotypes are proliferated in your everyday purview, it's really difficult to break away from that. So that's one of the things that Constance and I have talked about with the systemic racism, the systemic impediments that have been put in the way of a certain class of people. You said you don't want to go back to that, but some people can't get past that. So how do we get that message at that level, on a granular level, to those people who need it the most? Because it's great if you get an opportunity to have college, you break it free. It's great that you live on the other side of the tracks in suburbia, but for that one segment of society that they live, see, eat, and breathe, that past that you don't want to go back to, how would you remedy getting the message to them? Because sometimes you don't know because you don't know, and sometimes you don't know because you haven't been told.
That's
right. Well, you haven't been told, you don't have the information, you don't have the content. So that's why I teach this. That's why I teach the 9-step success process. That's why I teach you about identity and who you are. So you have a foundation for developing, building, and creating and designing your future. And that's why I teach you about vision, so you can get beyond your current circumstances. That's why I teach you about planning, so you can organize the goals and write them down on a piece of paper and then apply them. That's why I teach you about master the rules of the road, your value system. Create a value system that is tied to your vision. That's why I teach you about stepping to the outer limits, overcoming your fears. What are the obstacles that you're facing every single day that you have to work on? That's why I teach you about the seasons of change. It's not so much what happens to you, but how you respond to it. We're going through all of these changes. You know, only the strong survive. And that's why I teach you about building a dream team, building relationships, you know, trying to improve your social economic status all the time. That's why I teach you about win by decision, understanding how to organize information around you so you can empower your purpose, empower your opportunities based on who you are, living in the greatest country in the world, which is America.
Come on.
And being able to understand how to take all of those resources, all of the opportunities, and now you're having technology as a way to connect to the global market, so everything's relevant to you. That's why I teach you about working on yourself every single day, so the more you have, the more you can give.
Yes, teach.
I love it.
One of the things that we interviewed Michael V. Roberts. He's one of the Black billionaires, and one of the things he said is that we have more technology in the palm of our hands with our phone than they had when they put the man on the moon. And so with everything that's going on right now with COVID season and everybody having to shift and do things differently, and we know that the turmoil that the pandemic has caused and what's going on with the economy and just you know, with riots, and it really feels like we're in the Twilight Zone, Stedman. Like, it really, like, who would have thought 2020, everybody, for everybody, 2020 was our year. Like, this was the year of vision. Like, we were who knew that any of this stuff would happen? It's in any case, I want to know, what have you done differently in COVID season? How have you had to shift and pivot your business? What have you done?
I discovered something unbelievable.
What's that?
It just changed my life.
Ooh, tell us.
Changed my world. And I discovered technology.
I
said, oh my, you mean I don't have to travel? I got 2 million miles on American, 3 million on United Airlines. You know, I get to, I don't have to travel. I get to speak to people all over the world.
Right.
And talk about disseminating content that's relevant to your personalized development. And I can do it at a desk in one place, and I can work on myself to, you know, to better organize and build that mousetrap. I get time to do that. You know, so having technology as a foundation of everything I do allows me to now figure out how to build distribution in the marketplace, how to develop an affinity with other businesses going in the same direction, how to organize more content, how to create courses, how to create opportunity based on relationships, how to network, where you can actually talk to a community group or leaders, and you can put 5 leaders, you know, through a session a day through Zoom. Come on. And you can organize live webinars. And you can teach 5,000 people at a time. Please. It's an opportunity. I never would have been able to do that if not for this, you know, for this virus.
I love it. So
I would say this: when the virus is over, be ready.
Whatever
you're gonna do, do whatever
ready.
you need. Yeah, whatever you need to do, be transformed by the renewal of your mind. While the virus is still what? It's still here. Work on yourself every day so you can be the best person you can be.
That's right. Take this time as an opportunity to train yourself. I wrote an ebook called 7 Online Revenue Streams to Fund Your $1 Million Dreams, because I know that right now during COVID season that first of all, we need to have multiple revenue streams. Second of all, there are tons of things that we can do online. There are tons of things that we can do. We could be monetizing everything. We burned out during the pandemic, during the virus.
It's all training. That's
it.
What everything is. Just train yourself to be the best person you could possibly be every day.
Every single day. Yes.
Yeah, listen, y'all. Real quick, Constance, Stedman, you know, I am enjoying this conversation, but I have a small confession to make.
Ruh-roh.
All the neighborhood folks are saying, wait, we gotta ask. And in preparing for this day, Stedman, I found out that you had a sports background at one point in your life. So I'm going to guess that your sport was probably basketball. And we don't want to talk about sports with all of this intelligence and excellence happening, but I got to take care of my cousin and them who keep texting me over and over and over and over and over again. So can you please, as a leader, settle this thing once and for all?
What?
Who is the greatest basketball player of all time? Now, they keep asking me, is it Jordan or LeBron? But you may have another alternate option. So I gotta ask you, brother. I gotta ask you. This for my cousin and them. It's for a friend.
Well, find the player that gets 6 championships in a row. Okay, got 6 rings, right? And has been able to transform his spirit into people's lives all over the world. That's the greatest basketball player I know, and there's only one. That's Michael Jordan.
MJ.
Because when you see MJ, when you're around MJ, you know he's got the class, he's got the attitude, he can back it up with his playing ability, he's got the leadership skills, and now he's an owner.
Yeah.
I don't know how it gets any better than that.
How does it? Don't get no gooder than that, right?
Doesn't get any better.
Let me ask you a question. So let's talk about the O, because I know that they talked about her running for public office at one time, and I know she said that's not something that she wanted to do. But what about you? Has that been something that you've ever considered?
No. You know what? To be able to be behind the scenes and to do the work that I do, I'm in schools. I have a 10-week curriculum in schools. I train middle school through high schools. I'm in colleges. I have curriculum in colleges. I get to travel around and work with social service organizations. I get to work with business organizations. I don't know how you get any better than that. To be able to empower people at all levels, at all colors, in all countries. I'm working in China. I'm worked in South Africa. I'm working all over the world. I mean, the work that I'm doing in terms of getting people to understand who they are at an early age so they can break the cycle in their family, so they can lead as opposed to following this content that's designed to marginalize and make them stupid and dumb, all over the world, and make them think that, it's all about the external world and it's all about doing things that are not relevant to their personal development and their professional development. It doesn't get any better than that.
It is true. You affect more change at a grassroots level.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And speaking of which, there is a movement that has caused so much ruckus nationwide, depending on which side of the aisle you stand on. You say BLM, you say Black Lives Matter, and you get a visceral reaction, right? No matter who you are, no matter where you are. But because of the things that we've seen here in the current climate of the country, corporations are taking notice and they're taking action steps. Now, they may be trivial and minor and they may be PC, but in terms of being an entrepreneur, being in business, is there a way for an entrepreneur to parlay the relationships that some corporations are looking to have with a person of color? Is that the right way to go, to partner with a corporation that is responding, hearing, want to be sensitive to the movement and the climate and the culture of where we are now with race relations?
Yeah, there's a saying that success is when preparation meets opportunity.
Right.
So it's all about preparing.
Mm-hmm.
And this is a great time now to be able to go down to the community, to try to impact people's lives and work in the community, and also joint venture and do business. But you got to have the business acumen to be able to do that.
Yeah.
You got to have the training to be able to do that. You got to have the education to be able to do that. And
Right.
so I think it's just technology allows us to work with people all over the world. Nobody's asking you what color you are.
Yeah.
Nobody's asking you what your gender is. They just want to know that you have a good product, you have a good program, and can we work with you to create a bigger distribution network for ourselves. It's about knowledge and information. Again, I go back to the most powerful word in the world, which is love.
Love. Yeah.
So when you carry love, you're not looking at color.
That's
You're
right.
not looking at, hate. You're not looking at folks being angry. You're looking at ways to transcend your goodness, to transcend what you do well, to transcend your talents, your skills, your ability to be able to create opportunity. So it's all based on how you see yourself.
Yeah.
And so if you can organize everything around love and come in walking through the door with a loving mindset and eyes that say, you don't have to be afraid of me. I'm not angry. I'm not mad.
Yeah.
And when you get to understand how the world works and you understand the economic system and capitalism and all of that, you don't have to be mad. Because you understand that the process of success is the same for everybody. That's the equalizer. You don't have to worry about people feeling, superior over you when you have the information and knowledge.
Right.
You don't even care.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's why Stedman, and I'm sorry, I want to capitalize on what he said, because what you said is so poignant. Right now is the best time, I think, even with everything that's going on with the pandemic and the virus and protests and unrest and crazy people in politics and all that stuff. Right now is the best time to be alive. It is the best time in the history of this country. It's the best time in the history of this world because of the very things that you talked about. That's technology. That's being able to do whatever it is that we want to do and not have to worry about things like skin color, right? Because we can be whoever we want to be on the internet. We can create our own, we can create jobs. We can do whatever we want to do with Google University, right? We don't have to depend on a brick and mortar. I don't have to depend on somebody accepting me, whether I'm a woman or a Black woman or whatever. I can create and be who I want to be online. And that's the thing that I really want people to take from what you said. A lot of great stuff, but I want people to really take that from what you said, because it's so important. There is enough abundance out there for everybody who wants it to get it. All they got to do is go for it.
Yeah.
You got to rise above the okie doke, so to speak,
absolutely.
and rise above the average system and create your own system for success. And you couldn't have a better opportunity than to do that through technology. And also understand this. I've served in the military a number of years. This is the greatest, and traveled all over the world. This is the greatest country in the world. Yeah. And we are so fortunate. They have the ability to be able to create opportunity, which is why so many people are trying to get to this country.
Yeah, dying.
Because you can come to this country and not even be, born in this country and make $1 million. Where can you do that?
Right.
Yeah.
Nowhere in the world you can do that. So we have so many opportunities here if we're able to focus on what we can do as opposed to what we can't do.
You're right about that. That part, right? Yep.
That is amazing. So as we move the show along, Constance, this is for a friend and for my cousins and them. We want to move to a rapid fire. I really want to know section. Stedman, this is a real quick
have fun
into your life. We get to hear about how brilliant you are, but I'm going to start it off, Constance, by asking you right now, in your iPod, let's say you are cleaning up it this Sunday. Who are you bumping on your bump box, your speaker? Will it be Patti LaBelle or Aretha Franklin?
Ooh.
Both are great. I love Patti.
Patti.
I love
Patti.
Patti.
Can sing her shoes off. I love Patti.
She's extraordinary. Yeah.
Yeah.
And Marvin.
Oh, come on, Marvin.
Oh yeah. Oh
yeah.
Unbelievable.
Come on. Yes.
So good.
Favorite place in the world. What is your favorite place in the world to be?
It used to be Cape Town, South Africa.
Yeah.
It is San Diego, California.
Come on.
You couldn't have a better, sweeter place than. And I'm a golfer, so it's got everything. It's got water. It's got beach. It's got great weather. It's the best weather in the world in San Diego, and it's got good people. It's an unbelievable place. Beautiful place.
Yeah.
Wow. So here it is. I mean, I love San Diego too. I remember I keep telling Constance the one time I rode along the coastline of San Diego and I just saw the mountainous region. I saw the water. I actually saw seals on the beach, and it was just beautiful. And I had never seen that before. And I've been all across this country, but I forget which highway that is, if it's 5 or 1 or which one it is. It's 1.
I think so.
Oh my God. If you ever get a chance to go to San Diego, you need to ride on Route 1, just one time. My next question, Stedman, for you might make you a little uncomfortable and squirm in your seat. But do you remember your first kiss and her full name? Because, in life, you call everybody by their first name, but in grade school, you remember Maria Banks, you remember Rochelle Davis. So do you remember that first? And what is her name?
Wow, I have to think about that, man. First, probably my neighbor Elizabeth Keith, who lived in back of me. At an early age. So probably that.
Hey, Elizabeth.
Yeah. Hey, Elizabeth.
Yeah. She passed away, but she was such a great friend. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Right on.
There you go. Okay.
So, Stedman, we love to laugh. Like, if it ain't fun, we don't want to do it, period.
Got it.
What do you do to have fun? What makes you laugh? What makes you just laugh from your gut?
I have some friends, and when we're playing golf, and I can say anything I want to say. And we just have so much fun. And all we do is just talk about each other and, and make fun of each other. And we just laugh and laugh and laugh. It's just so good. His name is Carl Rustin out of, when I get with him, me and him, but we have so much fun.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, in addition to laughing, Mr. Graham, we love music. So if you had to choose your best venue, would it be an outdoor amphitheater where you can just take in everything that's happening, or would you rather be inside where the lights are off and you can kind of duck and be unseen? Outdoor amphitheater or indoors for your
amphitheater? Yeah, amphitheater. Absolutely.
I love now you got to.
I used to live in Denver. So Red Rocks. I don't know if you know Red Rocks in Denver, but it was outside venue and it was just beautiful. You could go there. They had concerts at night, all of that. So it was the acoustics were unbelievable.
Where was the most romantic place you've ever taken Oprah?
I think probably St. Kitts and Nevis. I used to work over there, and so we went over there on holiday vacation. It's beautiful. It's a small island off of St. Kitts.
Yeah.
And Nevis is very nice. Very beautiful there.
Let me ask you that because, you have access to the whole world. How do you stay, I don't want to say inspired, but how does You know, how do you stay inspired by, you know, just going to different, if you've experienced everything in the world, how does something else become new or inspiring for you?
Well, you know, I love being able to create my own life and my own existence. And I love to be able to create my own day. So, you know, I do that because I'm able to create small steps around organizing love in my life. And there's something called focus. Whatever you focus on expands. So focus is connecting the dots.
Right.
It's not the one thing that creates the energy. You know, energy is always looking to figure out how to form itself.
Yeah.
And so your ability to be able to organize positive energy going in the same direction allows you to develop a process of accumulation around those things that are relevant to your heart and to your soul. See, it's alignment. You align all of that together with your vision.
Come on.
And then you align that with the American free enterprise system in the global marketplace. And then you take technology and you start to segment every part of your life based on resources and opportunities. And you make everything relevant to you. And you organize your day around that, where you have no limitation and you use your imagination to create and design your own future. And you get to write it down and organize it and micromanage it, right? And then you use macro economics and microeconomics to empower it. And then you build relationships around it, and you create networks around it, and you organize cultures, and you organize industries, and you organize segments of the marketplace that are relevant to developing a diversified income stream. And you put all of that together with a personality, and you put all of that together with being nice, and you put all that together with being passionate and with prayer.
Yeah, come on.
Know, and you put all that together with your friends and your support systems and your ability to think. And then you take information and education and knowledge, be ye transformed by the renewal of your mind. You take books and you start to read, and you put all that together to create a process for continuous development every single day. You can't wait to get up in the morning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, really quick, because you just took that from a little micro and you just expanded that to a whole global movement.
Macro.
Here's the thing, though. Here's the thing is that everybody wants to be where you are. Everybody wants the magnitude of success. Everybody wants all that big stuff. But what was so important in what you said is it was just the simple things. It was the small things. It was the basic things. Like, you are not concerned. I mean, you've experienced so much, but I want people to take away from that is appreciate the little things. Focus on the small things. You know, focus on what's important. You said what you focus on, it expands and it grows. And what you focus on the longest, it becomes the strongest. So if you could focus on those small things and the positive things, and then they could build to be the macro or the global things that you talked about. But it starts so small.
It's all small.
You built onto that.
There's no big deals. There's no big deals.
Yeah.
Big deals are made up of everything small.
Yeah.
And then after you put it all together, oh, that's a big deal. Well, you've been doing this. You're 20 years ago. You're an overnight success because you've been working on this for 20 years.
Yeah.
Or for 30 years.
Yeah. That's right.
Yep. That sounds like TD Jake's story. They see your glory, but they don't know your story.
Yes.
Nor the work that you put into it. Nor the sacrifice that you had to make.
Yeah, the sleepless.
I'm working while you're sleeping.
Come on.
Okay.
Come on. They have no idea.
So they no idea what you put into it, because you can't do this. You can't maintain this level unless you work. And it doesn't make a difference who it is, whether it's Oprah, whether it's you, or whether it's myself, or anybody else, or TD Jakes. It takes work to do that. That's why when the leaders go, you have nothing, because nobody wants to do the work. That's why they take out the leaders, because nobody wants to put that much time and effort into developing themselves and building themselves and creating that brand awareness.
Yeah.
That's where leaders come from.
And then you got to keep it. Then you got to keep it. And then you got to keep it.
Yeah. A lot of people can start a business. How many people can maintain a business? How many people will have people follow them? You know, and I always say this, and I'm blessed because I have people like Robert who coach me. But the people who work for me, the ones who are on my staff, they will work for me for free. And I can say that in all earnest, right? Because of the type of leader I am. And that's so important. So yeah, you can have a business, you can start a business, but how many people can sustain a business? And that identity leadership is crucial to that.
Yeah. Can you last?
Can
How
you
long can you last?
staying power? Yes.
Right. Do you have the staying power? Because there's short-term vision and there's long-term vision. You know, you need both.
Yeah.
But the vision is where there is no vision, the people perish. You got to see beyond your circumstances.
Come on.
Absolutely. I love it. Man, this has been a great time, Constance. I had no idea.
Well, you know what? I'm just glad, Robert, that you didn't dominate the conversation, talk about leadership, since you guys are both leadership people. That's what I was worried about, that I wouldn't get to talk about what I wanted to talk about, because leadership is such an important, you know, you build nations on leaders. You build nations on leadership. And one of the things that you say is they won't follow unless you lead.
Until you lead. That's right.
And the beautiful thing about it, the process is the same and available for everybody. You know, you're not your circumstances. You're your possibilities. You have.
Wait.
Somebody, you're gonna put that in the hashtag. Somebody put that in the feed. You are not your circumstances. You are your possibilities.
Come on, put that in the comments.
And you couldn't have a better opportunity to create possibilities than today.
And if you are not taking advantage of today, shame on you.
Absolutely. I agree. That is a whole church sermon we have just preached.
Preach that thing. Yes.
Pastor Graham just tore you out your seat, knocked your weave to the left. I mean, this has all been good preaching and teaching.
Good word. Yes.
Well, y'all have been so fantastic and you worked so well together. And thank you for your energy.
Oh, thank you.
We thank you for putting a whole exclamation point on the sentence that we started writing and speaking. I mean, you have absolutely just blessed us with your presence. And one thing I want to encourage you to let you know is that we will be rebroadcasting this, because we want so many more people to see the greatness that's in you, the excellence that is coming out of your mouth, because you're more than just a handsome face. You're more than just, a hashtag or a punchline. It's Oprah's boo. You are sure enough the real deal.
Yes.
And I just want you to really briefly just tell people how that they can reach out to you, because I know that there are so many tools that are available to them. But I heard you talk about workshops. I heard you talk about instruction in class. I heard you talk about an online platform. So what is the best way to be able to experience exactly what we have heard today, whether it's your book or however you'd like for us to reach out and touch and experience more of you?
Well, of course, you can go to stedmangraham.com, and that's pretty much how you would reach out to me.
Okay. Graham.com.
Yep. Right.
Guys, thank you.
Oh, hey, hold that book up again. Hold the book up again.
Still said listen, it's all worn out. I've written in it. I got, all kind of stuff going on up in here.
Thank you so much.
If you want to have a 6-figure, 7-figure, 8-figure, 9-figure business, it is important that you really understand how to be an effective leader.
Yeah.
I can't express that enough. They will not follow unless you lead them. And knowing is the key, because everybody can be a leader, right? You can be a commanding leader, but if you're not a servant leader, you're not going to get very far. And he talks about it, and he actually gives scenarios, and he talks about different stories, and it's just a really entertaining and great book. It'll keep you going. So you guys pick up Identity Leadership.
Thank you so much for that,
Stedman Graham. It's been wonderful.
Yes, sir. Well, once again, my friend, this has been a great time.
Motivational.
Yeah, for sure. We thank you for engaging in the feed, and we hope that you continue to watch the #1 entertainment platform in the world. You will see us soon on Netflix. You will see us on TV. I said it first.
Bring it into existence.
Yeah.
Well, congratulations to you and best to you, and thank you so much for having me.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. So once again, my friends, my name is Robert Antoine, along with the lovely
Constance Carter.
And we believe that for every situation,
there is a conversation.
#ConversationStarters live.